20, Dylan Hamilton. Number 52, Ezra Gleed, and number 54.
Welcome into Stallions Stadium for our matchup between the 6-0 Stansbury Stallions as well as the 4-2 Cedar Valley Aviators. Hello everyone, JT Wistersill and Brian Brown, excited to be with you on the call. And Brian, I think when you're talking about this matchup, it's got to start with the Stansbury offense. Over 300 points scored on the season. They have just been outstanding on both sides of the ball, honestly. They're outscoring opponents by almost 300 points, honestly. It's 320 points on the season to 90 they've given up. This Stansbury team is incredible.
Loaded with talent, JT, and like you said, they are scoring at will upon opponents. And, you know, I think this is a really good test for them with this Cedar Valley team that is really starting to come on and play really strong football, a program that's been building for a while, and I think this is kind of their culmination point. So we're really lucky to have a great game tonight between two great teams and watch some really outstanding superstar players.
Both sides are loaded, as you talked about. The Stallions won the toss. They elected to defer. We'll see if the Aviators can take flight early. It's homecoming here at Stallions Stadium as we kick off week 7 of the high school football season. Low kick is going to be returnable. Bobbled for a moment, then picked up. But not much there. On the return there was Clayson Jenkins. Jenkins, the leading running back. See him stay on the field, but there comes the Stallions defense. As I mentioned, only 90 points given up on the season.
And a lot of that reason is Easton Baker, right? Just a
phenomenal,
very impressive athlete, currently committed to BYU. You saw a couple of BYU shirts as I walked in the stadium today. Obviously coming out to watch that future Cougar. And that defense is just incredibly stout and incredibly well coached. And it'll be a challenge as they go up against the Aviators tonight.
Yeah, Baker, 40 tackles on the season, just a complete nose for the football. He's going to be everywhere. And for the Aviators, offensively, it's going to be Cooper Thompson. 12-3 on the 12 touchdowns, 3 interceptions on the season. And they'll start on the ground. The give up the gut goes for a few to Jenkins.
Hand off to number 4, Clayson Jenkins.
So the short gain by Jenkins, and you just see that Stansbury defensive line holding strong on the first play.
Yeah, again, you want to open things up, try and get everybody comfortable. This is a very hyped-up game, and so you're not going to take a huge risk if you're Cedar Valley, right? So good stat, good stand by Stansbury there.
Jenkins, 743 yards on the season. He got about 2 there. It's 2nd and 8 from the 21. They'll go right back to him. And that ball might have popped out. You can hear the fans yelling fumble. We'll wait and see what happens. Looks like the Stallions have it. They do. Stansbury going to take it over just outside the 20.
Yeah, you see number 9 pounding his chest as he comes off the field there. Great job of getting in there, ripping that ball out as the ball carrier's still up, trying to hide behind his blockers. And that's a big early turnover for Stansbury here.
Yeah, you talked about it. If you're Jenkins there, you're taught to follow your blockers, try to stay behind, but allowed the other Stallions to come in there and rip that ball out. And now this is the first time we are going to see that explosive offense. Over 320 points scored on the season. They've scored over 70 in a game. They scored over 68 as well. It's an electric unit led by the main man himself at quarterback for this team. As we're set for the snap, going to be a quick throw to the outside. Nothing there. So Ezra Harris at quarterback. They try to go quick to the outside. Brock Wilson with the first reception. And they'll waste no time getting right back on the ball, Brian.
Got to go hurry up here if you're trying to get an early score.
Harris looking over the middle, connects, missed tackle. Breaking a few more, nearly crossing. Gets inside the 5 as it's caught by Brecken Matthews.
On the stop. For Cedar Valley, number 6, KJ Fisher.
So KJ Fisher on the tackle. Stansbury, 1st and 5 now. Harris once again empty backfield. He'll fake it, take it himself. Tries to find any room. He'll dive forward. Looks to just be short.
Number 16, Ezra Harris.
Yeah, it was a good job there by the Cedar Valley defense to maintain gap control as they, Stansbury trying to sneak one in with the QB cheaper. They continue with the hurry up though.
Go right back to the ground game, and he walks in for the score. Halu has 13 touchdowns on the season. Make it 14 after that one. One of the most electric players in the state finds the end zone on his first carry of the game.
Yeah, either you or I could have run that one in, but that's not going to take any credit away from Halu. He's one of the top touchdown scorers in the state. You can see why. They execute incredibly well at the goal line. Almost 3 straight running plays, able to get the ball across early, and that's a big early score for Stansbury.
Stansbury gets the turnover, and 4 short plays later, they turn it into a touchdown. That PAT is good. Stallions in front at Stallion Stadium, 7-0 on KSL Sports Rewind.
Coleman Dearden on the kick, number 22, Luke Gaines. Stallions 7, Aviators.
College wasn't built for me.
It didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Test day's test day. Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
Tests on your time. Courses on your time. Graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of VU.
Welcome back inside the Stallion Stadium, where Matiaki Halu wasted no time finding the end zone, and he's just one of the most electric players in the state, plain and simple. 13 touchdowns on this season on the ground. He has 114 yards receiving, as well as, more impressively, 733 yards rushing. Even gets it done on the defensive end. Just one of the elite athletes in the state.
Yeah, and you can see his versatility as he's carrying the ball across the goal line, and then he'll also show up on the defensive side of the football as well. Just a really great commitment there for the University of Utah locally.
This one fielded shortly. And this return will squeeze just past the 25. Returning that one was Isaac Seen.
On the return.
So Klein gets it out over the 25. And now we'll see if the Stallions can once again stand strong defensively, as the Aviators make their way back out. And, you know, the ground game didn't really work. This is an Aviators team that obviously wants to run the ball. How do you expect them to kind of counter it, Brian?
Well, it looks like they're going to start out with a 4-wide set right here, JT, and try and get this momentum back on their side.
Try to spread them out, but it does not work. They go back to the ground, and 3 Stallions are in the backfield instantly to Mies Jenkins.
Yeah, Nisi Vaca, the big defensive tackle there, occupying a lot of space there in the middle. Get the concept from Cedar Valley. They're just going to have to accommodate him, not accommodate, but account for him, and that staunch Stansbury defense.
I mean, you talked about Vaca. He's only a junior as well, just a tough guy to move in the middle. That makes it 2nd and 12 after the loss of 2. They'll go back to the ground and drag down once again. The Stallions team continues to come to play. That time the tackle made by Michael Giovanni.
Michael Gibajon, 3rd down.
Yeah, great job by Gibajon sneaking behind his defensive line, able to wrap up the ball carry before he was able to break away. You can see that they're still stout up front with Stansbury, but Cedar Valley slowly making inroads. They're going to stick with the run game as much as they can to try and wear down that front.
3rd and 11, the first time the Aviators have faced it. We'll see what Thompson does. Pressure in his face. He's going to deliver. It's intercepted. Picked off. Returned at about the 20, we'll call it the 26, Brian, but the Stallions defense looking lights out early.
And not sure if there was a miscommunication there or what, but just not on the same page with his wide receiver. Great job of being where you need to be by the Stansbury defender there, and that's 2 early turnovers for Cedar Valley. That's not how you want to start out this game. Meanwhile, you're seeing Stansbury come out, going to try and put another TD on the board. This is a big stand for Cedar Valley's defense.
Dylan Hamilton, the man who picked that pass off there, also leads the Stallions in receiving. We'll see if he can get a reception with 8:37 remaining in the first quarter. Go back to the ground. Halu actually kept to the outside by Harris. Harris charging forward. Harris got room. He'll cross the 5. He's in the end zone. Harris with an electric run. Touchdown, Stallions.
Just a great job there by Harris, making some nifty moves out there in the open field. Follows his blockers, get to the sideline, and it's nothing but a party in the end zone with the rest of the Stallions as they're out of the corral and running hard.
What a start for Stansbury. PAT pending. It could be 14-0 already, and I mean, we just got it started here, Brian. Kick is up, and that was blocked. So that one is blocked, but that's about the only thing that's gone wrong for Stansbury so far. They still lead 13-0 at Stallion Stadium on KSL Sports Rewind.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that
What a start for the Stallions, Brian. 2 turnovers on 2 drives for the Aviators so far, and only 5 total plays for Stansbury, and they've just made it look easy.
Yeah, well, it is easy when you give them a short field like that. That's what coaches really coach hard against mistakes. And, Cedar Valley came out with a game plan, trying to establish the run early, not able to do so, and it's cost them.
Jenkins charging forward. Jenkins breaking 3. Got 1 man to beat. Jenkins has the sideline, and he will get draped down. A phenomenal tackle on the edge there by Luke Danes. But Jenkins with a nice return, but it might be coming back.
Yeah, UHSAA is all over me. They figured out that I love penalties, and so we're going to see a lot of them. No, I'm just kidding.
Coming in hot.
Always a questionable thing when it's a good return like that. Was there a hold? Was there a block in the back? Turns out there was a hold there at the 22-yard line. This one will come back another 10 yards. And again, Cedar Valley starting in a hole.
Difficult spot for this offense to find itself, and so far 0 for 1 through the air. That technically you have 1 completion, but of course it's to the other team. On the ground, things haven't been there early, so as we'll back this offense up, it'll be interesting to see what they come out with and try to take advantage of this Stallions team. And look, we mentioned it. Look, the first thing when you look at Stansbury, you notice the points. 300 is, they're the only team in the state to cross that threshold at this point in the year, but defensively, to not even give up 100 points over 6 games into the season is phenomenal.
Yeah, it really is.
Thompson shifts his guys over. They motion Jenkins out of the backfield. Thompson gets it to the outside, and it's hauled in by Kakai Baker.
Jenkins. Pass from number 12, Cooper Thompson, complete to number 4, Clayson Jenkins.
So Baker with the reception. The first time we've seen positive yards today, or I should say for a gain more than 2 yards for this offense. So something encouraging a little bit, Brian.
Yeah, just an easy pitch and catch. You're running all curl routes, something to get your quarterback settle down a little bit here, and go right back into your game plan.
They'll pitch it to the outside, give it to Jenkins. Jenkins charging forward. Jenkins has the first down. Still driving as well. He's got 4 dudes on his back, Brian, and still going forward.
Yeah, and a late penalty flag there, as you have to wonder if maybe there was some extracurricular activity in the huddle there. But a great job of the offensive line to get out in front of Jenkins, open up a seam, and he just keeps those legs churning, able to carry the defenders for the first down.
And Brian, as you mentioned, we're going to see some laundry tonight. There's another one there. It's holding just when things start to go right for this offense. They just seem to get backed up.
Yeah, interesting call from the officiating crew there, especially that late in the play. I'm not sure. Clearly, former offensive lineman. I'm never going to agree with a holding call, but I'm not sure what the officials saw. We'll trust them to do their job, and JT, I'm going to do my best not to criticize it.
Well, the UHSAA will appreciate that. So Cooper Thompson comes out once again. It's now the board says 3rd and 3. It's going to be about, call it 2nd and 4 at the moment. Thompson, hit as he throws, gets it over, and they got a first down. KJ Fisher with the reception.
Yeah, you're seeing that Stansbury is really trying to direct their pressure from different parts of the field. That time trying to come off the left side, but leaving plenty of guys in coverage. Really trying to force the turnovers like we saw earlier. It'll be interesting to see how long they're able to stay in that if Cedar Valley continues to move the ball.
And I misspoke. Thought he had the first. He's going to be short a yard. They'll go quick, try to get it on the ground, and Jenkins will have it.
Yeah. Late ball comes out there, officiating crew on top of things, ruling him down. But Jenkins is another really talented running back here in the state of Utah. Maybe not quite on the level of Matayeki Helu, but really coming on strong here in the middle part of the season.
First and 10 from the 26 with 6:35 remaining in our first quarter. Thompson, the senior quarterback. Fake the give, drops back, a deep drop. They're trying to set up the screen. There's absolutely no one home, and eventually we'll just drill it into the ground.
Yeah, nice job by the Stansbury defensive front there to sniff it out early, take out the intended receiver. Thompson not left with a whole lot to do on that situation, just throws the ball at his receiver's feet, gets out of it. Second and 10, again, live to play another day.
Yeah, credit to the Stallions front, as you kind of talked about, Brian, just being able to sniff out that screen as well. It's something I feel like every year we just see players get better and better at, because in the past, everyone just wanted to get a sack, right?
Yeah, well, and poor offensive coordinator Steve Vincent's a victim of his own success. You know, everybody sees that Snow College screen where Steve formerly played with myself.
I was say, I didn't play no college football. We know that. Give it up the gut. And once again, some strong running. Nice push at the end. So a great carry for Cedar Valley as they charge forward.
Joe Lomu.
Lomu on the carry.
Yeah, you see this Cedar Valley team has a lot of strong runners. They're a well-coached group up front as well in the offensive line there. Coach Jason Lind does a great job with that group. You're seeing that they're starting to find that success that they were hoping for earlier in the game. Now again, Stansbury, a very talented defense. You have to expect a big stand from them here.
So Joe Lomu remains in the backfield. It's going to be 3rd and 3 from the 33. Thompson looks one way, and it's hauled in. A strong catch on the outside by Ethan Johnson.
Yeah, just a great pitch and catch there by Thompson, and Johnson has the Stansbury defender on his back. Great coverage, but Thompson puts the ball right where his receiver can get it, and that's a huge pickup for Cedar Valley.
Aviators with a little bit of momentum now. Back-to-back first downs for them. Going on a long drive. You know, it's 13-0 can seem like a lot when you let a team score in 5 plays, but obviously a lot of time left. So we're just in the first quarter here at Stallion Stadium. Thompson going to give it to Jenkins. Jenkins met up top by who else once again but our big guy, Vaca.
Jenkins on the stop for the Stallions, number 70. Vaca.
Yeah, Vaca does a great job of standing up his blockers and just holding down the middle there, and then allows Giovian to slide from the outside and wrap up the ball carrier for good and bring him down. Just a great example of team defense there from Stansbury. And I apologize on the pronunciation there.
You won't be the only one tonight. 4:35 left, 2nd and 10. Seen this offense have a little bit of success through the air after their first 2 drives. We'll see if they go back to it. Stallions show blitz. They'll bring 4. Thompson with time gets it to the outside. And a nice reception and gain to Noah Burnham.
You've seen again the Cedar Valley offense trying to give Thompson easy throws, get him in rhythm. You're going to the sideline on out routes, looking for curls. Nothing too difficult, and a good job there by the running back to pick up the blitz.
Apologies if you guys see our camera shaking at any point tonight. There's a 3rd down jump that the student section has going, so we're going to be rocking and rolling pretty much all night up here, especially with the way the Stallions defense. The third down of this drive, of the 3rd drive, and it's going to be a pitch to the outside, and what a play made.
Pitch to number 44.
Coming over and laying the wood there is Halu.
JT, you talk about the athleticism of Halo. You see it right there. Comes upfield like a missile, as if he was fired out of the Tooele Army Depot just down the road from us. Knocks out both running back, blocker, everybody. I'm knocked out. I can't even get my air after that. I'm so blown away by the play.
What an incredible play by Halo, as you mentioned. Go low and absolutely blew that play up, taking down Joe Lomu, as you mentioned. Punt's going to be away as the drive for Cedar Valley stalls. No fair catch called for. That's dangerous, and it's going to bounce off his head. Going to be scooped up. Got to be a little more careful, but we're going to see some flags come in, Brian, and what do you think it's going to be?
Well, my assumption based on the penalty flag location is going to be catch interference there. We're a little too far away to give a proper account of that from our vantage point. I also just like good physical football, so I kind of like that one. But you have to give that receiver an opportunity to field the punt cleanly. That definitely is not in question.
This is an interesting call not to fair catch that one as well. It was a bold strategy, and it did not pay off.
Bold move, Cotton. We'll see how it pans out, and looks like it's going to pan out with a penalty.
So the first time today, we're going to have to see this Stallions offense mount a long drive, but as we mentioned, this is a team capable of doing so. They've been outstanding on offense all season long, one of the most productive teams in the state. If you're just looking at their outputs on the season, they opened with 72, then 42, then 68, then 48, then 56. Their lowest point total of the year is 34.
Yeah, very explosive offense, and you can tell. It looks like we have another penalty flag up here at the 49-yard line as well. I think that's what's causing some of the discussion here with this crew. Looks like we may have a decision. We'll wait and see what the white hat tells us. No flag. Very interesting.
So they've waved off one flag. It's going to be holding on the return team. So it looks like the flags...
Multiple flags.
Yeah.
So we have a catch interference. Looks like we had a holding flag, which I'm assuming was either up here at the 49 or over there at about the 17-yard line, and then there was a block in the back. So not sure which one was which, but Cedar Valley's got the right penalty for them accepted, and congratulations to Cedar Valley.
All that matters is the Stallions did multiple things wrong on that play that you are not allowed to do in the game of football.
The penalty accepted their rows, and they're going to back up Stansbury regardless here. And that's, like you said, JT, the big deal with this one is that now Stansbury is starting out of a hole. This Cedar Valley team, a little bit more momentum gathering back, caught a breath. We'll get a chance to see kind of a little bit more of an even-keeled performance from them on defense.
We talked about the stars on this offense, guys, of course, like Harris, Hamilton, Halu, but also, how about Falanisa Vaca? We just talked about the job he's doing at nose tackle. He's got the left tackle spot on lock as well.
Yeah, he's a busy man. There's no doubt about it.
Get it to the outside and a first down right away for the Stallions.
Yeah, great job standing there in the pocket. Nice little quick route.
16, Ezra Harris.
Harris with a great reception. Not a ton of yards, but it moves the chains and gets him out of a hole.
Brock Wilson gets his second catch of the day. Halu takes off. It's actually Hamilton. Hamilton pushed out of bounds.
Hamilton on the keeper off the little counter play there with a huge gain here for Stansbury. And you can see why this offense has put up so many points, right? They get out of the hole quickly, they move the ball quickly, and they get it back up on the ball quickly.
Ezra Harris right back at it after that big run. Easy pitch and catch to the outside. Wilson going over and finally dragged down across midfield. And I mean, this tempo is even throwing us up off here, Brian.
And you can see that there's a lot of hidden talent on the Stansbury team. We talk about Baker and Halu, but Wilson has some nice moves, a good speedy little receiver out there. Not little, just a good speedy receiver.
Harris faked the run, gets it over to Halu across the middle. Halu with another first down in the game, and they're just flying.
On the stop for the Aviators, number 30.
Ezra Harris calling things out. Aviators trying to figure things out as the pace finally slows at least a little bit here. Harris looked back to the outside, and that time Wilson just not ready for it.
Yeah, sometimes that's the problem with going with that up-tempo style. You just get a little bit too rushed. Harris probably had some time to slow things down a little bit, trying to get the faking, get the ball out quickly. They'll reconvene and get that thing fixed up in the second half, I'm sure.
Empty backfield for Harris once again. Show blitz on the outside. It's going to come. They give it to Halu. On the end around, Halu. Halu stumbles, makes it multiple men miss. Halu with a phenomenal effort.
To number 10,
it's kind of a funny little play out there. Wasn't really sure what everybody was doing, but Halu slowed it down, patient behind his blocker, makes a few moves, able to get the chains moving.
Halu just continues to be electric in the open field, drops two guys to their knees in an instant. Harris dropping back, looking for Wilson on the double move, and he's got it! Flag on the play. We'll see what it is, but at the moment, a phenomenal catch by Wilson.
Yeah, and you see the little pump fake there, gets the defender to slow down. And again, Wilson, as I talked about, very fast, very agile receiver, one of those guys. There's so many good wide receivers in the state. Maybe gets overlooked a little bit, but definitely has the skill set to be a receiver. Unfortunately, just a little too much hugging going on with the offensive line there.
It's hard not to hug, right? You're just banging into guys each play. It's a difficult thing, right, Brian?
It is, yeah. And listen, a lot of these guys going both ways for Stansbury. Guy gets around you, you just have that urge to reach out and grab somebody.
Give it to Halu. Halu follows his blockers, exploding for it. Halu gets it back in just a single play. He would have had a first down, and it was 2nd and 26, and Halu got it.
Yeah, well, and we've seen Stansbury do that pretty much all game long with that counter play. Not a counter, excuse me, a lead play where they're pulling that backside player, allowing Halu to get outside, catching Cedar Valley in a bad alignment there.
And Cedar Valley getting a little jumpy, just trying to get the edge, trying to get the early advantage. They're tired of being gashed. We've had at least 5 plays on this drive go for over 10 yards, Brian.
Yeah, well, and that's part of Stansbury's plan is they want to be explosive. They want to get you thinking. They want to get you jumping because that gets you out of your game plan. It's a great job of executing the tempo. And when you have the talent like Halu and Wilson and everybody else out there to get it done, it makes a huge difference.
So Matiaki Halu with the explosive run down the right sideline. He'll stay in the backfield once again, and you mentioned Halu as well, University of Utah commit. It's easy to see why. He is not a small guy either, able to make those plays. They're going to give it to him once again. Halu charging forward, spinning, fighting. He reached it out. Did he get in? No, just short.
Yeah, it looked like maybe he touched before he was able to reach across the goal line there, but you can see it's not just Halu, right? His offensive line is opening some massive holes for him. He's just putting in that extra effort.
Ooh. Harris tried to keep it dragged down. That was a phenomenal stop made defensively by Devon Tuataga.
Yeah, Tuataga flying in from the position backside there to make the tackle, but a little bobble on the snap early. Harris able to gather it back up so it's not a turnover, but they lose 2 or 3 yards on that one.
Stallion on the bad end of a 3rd down for the first time tonight. It's 3rd and 2 for this offense. Harris talking to Halu, talking to the coaching staff. Do not have a play clock out here at the moment, but either way, under a minute left in our first quarter. Give it to Halu. Halu charging forward. Halu going to be dragged down. What a stand by the Aviators.
Great job by the Aviators defense there.
Marshall.
And we see Travion Marshall making the tackle. He also helped assist on the previous play. Starting to settle in a little bit of what's going on.
Lucky Mame.
You're seeing it looks like Stansbury's going to go for it here. And why wouldn't you? 13 already.
Based on the success, 30 seconds left. It's a crowded defensive line they'll be running into. See if the Stallions decide to use a timeout. Seems to be a lot of confusion at the moment. And they're going to use a timeout. So they'll step away, and we'll step away as well. We'll see if the Stallions can come back with 17 seconds left in the first quarter to take a 20-0 lead on KSL Sports Rewind.
UC
Back here at Stansbury High, it's 4th and 2. The Stallions offense staying on the field. Ezra Harris, empty backfield. Harris looking all the way to the left, only to the left. Going to see a flag come in. We'll see if it stands. It's hauled in at the moment by Wilson. But whistles, Brian.
Brock Wilson flags on the field. In the back.
Great call there by the Cedar Valley defensive coordinator, bringing the house, knowing that with the empty set there wasn't as big a threat of a run play there. Able to get the holding penalty again. This Stansbury offense, I think, most efficient in the run game, right? Where they can get good angles. You've got big, thick offensive linemen up front, those big kind of earth-moving guys. When you have to kind of deal with that speed blitz of Cedar Valley, it's causing them some issues.
And the field goal unit is not coming on right now, Brian. So you want to talk about having confidence in your offense at the moment. This is 4th and 15, and Harris is going to stay on the field with a 13-0 lead.
Yeah, not a lot of plays in my playbook for 15-yard gains, but we'll see what they do here. We're going to get this play blown dead again. I think, again, a timeout here by Stansbury, some confusion, maybe rethinking this one a little bit.
We'll see what they decide to do when we come back at Stansbury High.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front, SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Stallions decide to burn their second timeout of the first half. They'll do so in the first quarter because they decided they are going to kick it. Looked to be a lot of confusion on what they want to do, so not surprising to see them opt for the kick. Luke Dane's going to take it. Danes, it's up. It's going to be short, and it just falls short. No good by Danes.
Just short.
Yeah, Dane's a lot of verticality on that ball, but just not a lot of distance. Not able to convert on it, and you see kind of why Stansbury was considering maybe going for it there. I think the smart choice to kick the field, especially given the holding penalty pushing you back.
Our friends to the north on their back.
That's a situation that as you give Cedar Valley more opportunities and they start to convert more, we'll have to monitor and see how that plays out.
What a phenomenal stand by the Aviators. We have 2 seconds remaining in our first quarter, so this will be the final play as Cooper Thompson and this offense make their way back out for the 4th time already in the first quarter. Thompson, give it to Jakins. Jakins charging forward. Couple of tough yards on the carries, and that's going to do it. So an explosive first half that saw 2 turnovers for Stansbury. It also saw 2 touchdowns for the Stallions. We saw a blocked. That's the only thing that really hasn't gone right is the kicking game so far, Brian. Saw a blocked extra point as well as just a field goal goes short for this team. But either way, still a 13-0 lead for the Stallions.
Yeah, it is, and really they need to continue to do the best that they can to build on that moving forward. Starting to get a little bit more of an exciting game for us here, JT, after some early foibles on the part of Cedar Valley and some really, really good, great capital moves by Stansbury.
And we'll see how it plays out when we come back for the second quarter on KSL Sports Rewind.
College wasn't built for me.
It didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Test day's test day. Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
Tests on your time. Courses on your time. Graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of VU.
Back here inside Stansbury High School at Stallion Stadium where the Stallions lead the Aviators 13-0 on KSL Sports Rewind, but the Aviators back at it offensively. They'll pick it up 2nd and 5 from the 25. Give it to Jakins. Jakins charging forward. Jakins breaks 1 tackle. Jakins can't get out of the second, but a strong run by Jakins until he's finally brought down by Jackson Corbett.
For the Stallions, first down, Aviators.
And again, we talked about it earlier, right? A lot of guys for Stansbury going both ways. Part of their offensive philosophy is to try to put up a lot of points early to give themselves a breather as teams try to fight back.
So Clayson Jakins with another strong run. He was bottled up early, fumbled actually on his 2nd carry of the game, but since then has been outstanding. Ball on the 37 now. Go to the ground once again, and that one going to be buried. Phenomenal play made in the backfield. Saw a little bit of extra pushing at the end as well, but not going to be anything.
On the stop.
Strong stand by the Stallions defensively. You can see a slew of guys in there as well. Personally, I thought 68, but my roster doesn't have 68 if I'm just being honest. Easton Baker in there, of course, as well, the phenomenal player.
It's always a mystery who's going to show up in a jersey, JT. One of the benefits of high school football.
Can lead to confusion. Outside blitz is shown. Thompson with time gets it to the outside, but it's dropped.
Pass attempt out to number 1, goes incomplete.
Tough one there as they're trying to set up the wide receiver screen, just not in sync there. And this drive is starting to be a little bit not in sync for Cedar Valley after a promising start.
You know, one thing you notice about coming out here at Stansbury, Brian, is just there's not as many players on the sidelines, so you see more guys going both ways, which speaks to their talent as well, because that is not something easy to do.
No, it's not. I think it really speaks to what the coaching staff has developed in terms of their system to help them maintain and score points the way they have.
Thompson got some time, goes to the outside, has his man, it's caught! Perfectly executed there with Noah Burnham hauling it in.
And you're seeing Thompson settle down after some early bumps. You can see why this Cedar Valley football team has been playing so well lately. When he's on his game, they're able to move the football, gives the defense a break, and you're seeing that they're starting to threaten the Stansbury defense, and that defense is starting to tighten up a little bit.
How about the timing as well? Beautiful delivery on the route, absolutely perfect. Best throw of the day for Thompson so far, who's came up clutch a couple times on those long situations. Jenkins charges forward and going to be dragged down for a short game by Vaca and a few other Stallions.
Again, running into the interior of that Stallions defense is always a risky endeavor, as they are very stout up front. But Jenkins, a strong runner. Again, we saw him drag multiple defenders for a few yards. You're just chopping wood at this point, right? You're just trying to wear that front down.
So just over 10 minutes remaining in our first half. 2nd and 9 from the 49. This 13-0 ball game. Thompson tries to air it out. Just overshoots his intended receiver.
Goes incomplete, depending on the play, number 20, Dylan Hamilton.
Yeah, just a little high for the receiver there, and that's exactly, if you're going to miss a throw, that's where you want Thompson to miss it as high so that nobody has a chance but your receiver to go get it.
Hamilton already picked up Thompson earlier. That time does a strong job on coverage, and now it's 3rd down, so you know what that means. Press box is bumping.
Shaky camera time.
There's 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. Motion 1 across. Thompson. Pressure comes through. He's got to get rid of it. Popped in the air, but no one home to get it. But a nice play by the Stallions defense.
And seeing Thompson with the pressure, not able to set up on platform, throwing off his back foot. Throws a little bit of a weaker pass out there. Tipped up in the air. Always a scary situation if you're on offense. Luckily for Cedar Valley, the ball falls incomplete. And now we'll get another opportunity to see this high-powered, high-octane Stallions offense.
Easton Baker, the phenomenal linebacker, tipped that one. So with 9:52 left, we saw the Stallions last time, drove all the way down, came up just short on the goal line. We'll see what it yields here. Short punt, fair catch is called for by Hamilton, and that's a wise decision.
Hunting for the Aviators, number 38.
What do you think the biggest reason was that things really changed once we got to the goal line on that last drive for the Stallions offense, where the Aviators really seemed to tighten things up?
Well, I think some of it was just that Cedar Valley defense settling in. You know, anytime you run tempo, the whole goal of that is to disrupt the defense. And as soon as things slowed down a little bit, they were able to make a tackle. Shorter field, so Stansbury's not getting up and going nearly as fast. You're able to catch your breath and really be disciplined in your run gap defense. And so, again, will that help them now? We'll wait and see.
You know who else kind of got a chance to catch their breath as well was the Stallions offense for the first time today. They'll pick it up on the 21. Harris alone. Tries to air it out quickly, but it's deflected at the line. Great job by the big guys getting their hands up.
Yeah, great job there by the Cedar Valley front as they were able to get the deflection. And again, you know, tip balls are one of the biggest things that defensive coordinators emphasize, because that's an opportunity to get a turnover there. You love to see the big guys with their hands in the lanes there.
Yeah, Brian Vogel doing a great job deflecting that one. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 21. That ball is fumbled. Harris and Halu could not connect, but Harris able to jump back on top of it.
Yeah, Harris, the senior quarterback, doing a very good job of securing the football. Again, that mesh is so important. If one of those players gets going a little bit too fast, and that's the scary part about this tempo offense, right? It can cause a mistake. And we got another one right as I'm talking. It's our guy, Ivaki, it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh. Listen, you love to see the big man get off the ball like that. And if I'm his offensive line coach, I'm just giving him a hug and saying, hey, I love the effort.
It's okay, yeah.
We're okay.
That's one of those things that's always my least favorite thing, Brian, back when I played offensive line, was when everyone would yell at you, like, come on, like, you don't know, you just made a mistake. Third and 16, our board here is just incorrect. So 3rd and 16 for this offense. They've proven capable of making up big yardage. Harris airing it out, got his man, and just seemed to lose it in the air, Brian. It was Hamilton.
Not sure if Hamilton lost it in the lights or what happened on that one, but it was a great play by Ezra Harris.
Gorgeous
Had
pass.
some pressure bearing down on him. Just one of those plays where it seemed like everyone got disconnected for a minute and just ball falls incomplete, and that's a big, big stand for Cedar Valley.
We were 2 yards, or it might have even just been a yard away from a 20-0 game. Now it's back-to-back stops by the Stallions, and they're going to punt it away in a moment after Hamilton unable to track that win. That punt was nearly blocked. Instead, it is going to take a favorable roll, and apparently it bounced off one of the back legs of one of the Aviators because Stansbury's sideline got excited, but in the end, Aviators get on top of it.
Yeah, you got to have a poison call or a fire call, some kind of call out there to help your wings or your wing guys so that they're not in the way of a bouncing ball, especially with a misdirected kick.
Well, there was a lot going on that punt.
even the PA broadcaster agrees with it. So 8:52 left. It's going to be 1st and 10 from, looks to be about the 46. Quick shout out, James Edwards is actually up here. If you guys looking for some of the best high school coverage as well of the written variety, James Edwards on the Deseret News does an outstanding job each week. I know how much he helps me get ready for each of our games, Brian.
Yeah, there's nobody better for high school sports. Been doing it for years. Great guy, great coverage. Great to have James out here with us tonight.
Pitch to the outside is dragged down. What a phenomenal job staying with the tackle.
So
Lomu on the carry, and I'm trying to make out the number. That was a phenomenal job. He basically just went on a ride, but either way, helped just hold on to him.
Yeah, great job by Cedar Valley to try and stretch the defense out, but an even better job by Stansbury maintaining integrity. Allows, I believe it was Ezra Glee to make the tackle on that one.
Yeah, Glee helps come in for the tackle as well as for the Stallions. It was Hamilton who was just holding on the back for the ride to slow him up. 2nd and 11 from the 46 with 8:15 to go. Thompson looking deep, has a man wide open. It's hauled in. Huge gain for the Aviators. A great catch and run by Mason Park. Or check that, actually, KJ Fisher.
Yeah, Fisher, the tight end on the slant run. We've seen some early maybe concerns there from the Stansbury defense over the middle. Great job by Thompson standing there, and it's a huge conversion for Cedar Valley here.
Once again, this was a 20-0 gain if there's not penalties and a struggle to gain 2 yards, then a holding as well. And now it's only 13-0, but Aviators driving. They have all the momentum. They've stopped the Stallions on back-to-back possessions. Just had their biggest offensive play of the day as well. Great opportunity as they're just outside the red zone at the 24-yard line. Thompson fakes the pitch, got a man in his face, lofts it out, and it's batted down. It was a dangerous throw.
A lot of activity in the backfield. See Thompson with the fake, has a couple options, tries to dump it off to his tight end there. Tight end falling down, or receiver I should say, falling to the ground, not able to reel it in. And honestly, JT, that's probably the best result for Cedar Valley of all the possibilities on that play.
Yeah, it was a broken play, a wind up as an incompletion. This was a team that from the start just appeared to want to run the ball, but have been effective through the air since. 2nd and 10 from the 24. Thompson with time will air it out. It's hauled in. Stiff arm. And then finally swung out of bounds. That ball hauled in by Isaac Klein.
Nice job by Klein to use his teammate out there as a blocker and gets outside, picks up that additional yak. Great tackle there by Braxton Matthews, I believe it was.
A shout out to him. He was out working selling Aviator cards like our Stallion cards in Eagle Mountain.
So 7:22 left, stop clock because it was dragged out of bounds. Thompson in the offense. First time in the red zone today. What can they do with it? Lomu charges forward. Gets a few on the inside run.
And JT, you mentioned that Cedar Valley kind of got away from the run game a little bit. Come back to it. They're not able to pick up a ton of yards, but 2-3 yards again. That very, very stout interior defense. We've talked about Vaca and his teammates in there. They're doing a great job of limiting the up the middle carries.
2nd and 8. As Thompson gets his squad ready. See one receiver at the top of your screen all alone. Outside of that, all the action on the left boundary. See a little bit of motion. They'll pitch it back. Looking for it deep. He's just going to throw it across his body, and it's picked off. What an interception. Great job by the Stallions staying with it.
Pitch to number 14, Tegan Hansen for a flea picker. Picked off by the Stallions.
A little razzle-dazzle there from Cedar Valley, trying to go and get this score there. Just not able to get the completion as the, again, running backs are not quarterbacks, JT, and sometimes you get a little too ambitious with that kind of stuff. Not able to complete the pass, but a great job by the Stansbury defense to secure the interception.
Dylan Hamilton showing off right there why he leads this team in receiving yards, gets the interception, goes up and gets the 50-50 ball, and creates a much-needed turnover for the Stallions as they got all the momentum right back their way. His 2nd interception of the game as well. Hamilton, been outstanding on the outside. Harris, a little bit of a broken play. He'll throw across his body. It's hauled in. Great reception there by Halu.
Harris complete to number 10.
Yeah, and a great job by Harris to get the ball out after an early bobble and some serious pressure from Cedar Valley.
Yeah, Harris doing a phenomenal job this game, leading his team so far. They go for the quick pitch and catch once again, but just off the hands of Halu. Or excuse me, Hamilton.
And you're starting to see the Cedar Valley defense settle in, especially number 33, DeVoe Tuataga, as he's getting some pressure there on this Stansbury offense.
Harris will give to Halu. Halu gets about 4.
Great job on the second effort there. Again, we've seen them get 20-yard gains, so 4 feels so minimal, but you love seeing the second and third effort to fight for that yardage.
3rd and long, and the Stallions offense continuing to utilize the tempo. Cedar Valley shows 4. We'll see if they bring any more. Harris, going to be a quarterback draw. He'll keep it, charges for it, and gets the first down. Oh, we got a flag, Brian.
Harris flags in the backfield.
Yeah, nice job by Harris to kind of redirect there, as it looked like Cedar Valley had the play initially snuffed out. You can see the athleticism to get some yardage. Again, don't love it when you have one of your buddies hugging the other team, but it's part of this game, and it just for any other team you might worry about a 10-yard penalty, but from what we've seen so far from Stansbury, this might just be an extra 10 yards that they can put down the stat book.
Halu made up 2nd and 6 in the blink of an eye early in this game. Definitely be able to make up what looks to be 3rd and about 14. Harris waiting, going to try to set up the wide receiver screen. And well played by the Aviators. They track him down for a minimal gain.
Yeah, a lot better discipline there from Cedar Valley on the tackle. Able to limit the gain. You can see what Stansbury was trying to do. Hoping to slip somebody on the outside and pick up the first down. And that's a good stop for Cedar Valley.
First two drives of the game were on the short field. Easy touchdowns quick. The last 2 drives, the one was the goal line stand by the Aviators. They stopped them. Then after that, been forced to punt twice now, the Stallions have.
Yeah, and you're seeing the Stallions a little discombobulated on special teams again. They're missing players, and this is getting to that territory where you might have to either take a penalty or a timeout. Special teams have been an issue for Stansbury.
And the Stallions will be forced to use their final timeout of the first half with 4:28 remaining on KSL Sports Rewind.
All right, we coming at you.
Back here inside Stansbury High School, Stallions had to use their final timeout, but now are set it to punt it away from the 32. High arcer. Going to be called for the fair catch. It's bobbled. That one's rolling around. It was kicked and then grabbed by the Stallions. Stansbury will take back over. But there is a flag. And it couldn't be more away from the play as well, Brian.
Yeah, a lot of whistles going on as we're going to work this one out. Different area in terms of where the flag is at. Likely either, it looks like we have a Stansbury player pointing that it's against Cedar Valley, but bigger issue there, that high, dangerous punt, and it's really, really hard to field a kick like that if you're Cedar Valley on the fly coming upfield. That's going to be a huge, huge bobble and a great recovery for Stansbury.
So it was holding officially against Cedar Valley. Stallions have it back once again, and when they've been able to get the ball after a turnover, pretty good so far today. They scored on their 2 earlier possessions because of it, and it took them a total of 5 plays after those turnovers on those 2 early drives, Brian.
Again, JG, those short field opportunities that you have to capitalize on. We'll see if Stansbury can do that with a little bit more field to work with.
Harris, fake the run, then he actually is going to, takes off. Harris skirts across the 40. Harris tries to cut it back and finally dragged down. What a run by Harris.
Again, Harris, a senior quarterback, very athletic, very agile out there, and you're seeing Cedar Valley not doing a good job adjusting to the sudden change there.
They'll give it to Halu. Halu bounces off a couple defenders, but charges forward for the tough yards. So be set second and 7, we'll call it, from the 32 with just under 3:45 remaining in our first half. Harris by his lonesome in the backfield. He'll show, and then he'll run once again, but a phenomenal job as he's dragged down by the Aviators.
Again, no difference in the play call there. It's just all about the execution on the Cedar Valley defense. When your head is in the game, focus is there, able to execute. It's a much better result for Cedar Valley. And now Stansbury in third and average, third and brown bear here.
We'll see what they can do with it. Harris has Wilson, who's been effective at the bottom of the screen all game. They're going to give it to Halu. Halu goes forward with it for a little bit, and that seems like 4-down play calling to me, Brian.
It does, JT, but it's a big stop there by Cedar Valley, and it looks like Stansbury's ready to go again. Going to try and get the conversion here with a hurry-up.
So 3 straight runs go for a total of 3 yards. What a job by the front 7 of Cedar Valley. Stansbury fake to get to the line quickly. See the calls coming in. Harris drops back, clean pocket, airs it out, has Hamilton wide open, and it's caught! Hamilton drops to his knees, but hauls it in.
Great job by Ezra Harris to see his wide receiver open there. Great job by the receiver to haul it in, and that's a huge conversion. Stansbury up, ready to roll again.
Before I can even get back in, they're already on the line. Harris fakes to Halu, going to air it to the outside. It's hauled in by Hamilton. Back-to-back reception by Hamilton. Set up the touchdown for Stansbury.
Number 20, Dylan Hamilton, touchdown Stallions.
And see Harris on the RPO action there, able to find his receiver, has a defender in his face, throws the ball over the top, drops it in the barrel for the receiver, and it's an easy pitch and catch for a touchdown for Stansbury.
Last time we saw the Stallions line up for a PAT, it was blocked. This time, it's good. So 20-0 here at Stallion Stadium as Stansbury extends their lead on KSL Sports Rewind.
Coleman Dearden on the hold, number 22, Luke Gaines on the kick.
Back here inside Stansbury High School, where Dylan Hamilton just went to work there, as well as some beautiful deliveries from Ezra Harris.
Yeah, Ezra Harris, a really impressive senior quarterback, able to direct this high-octane offense for the Stallions. And much like the raceway out here nearby to Stansbury, there is no slowdown with this Stansbury offense.
Only 2 undefeated teams remain in the 5A classification. One of those is the Stallions. The other is the Lehigh Pioneers. Anytime you can be in the same company with Lehigh, it's a good thing. Jenkins trying to find some room and finally swung down off that one. It's actually Bannery on the carry.
Yeah, nice little return there on the shorter kick. Bob a little bit able to secure it and get decent field position here for Cedar Valley at the 32-yard line.
So Cedar Valley has 2 of their timeouts left. The Stallions had a bunch of mistakes that's very uncharacteristic to see from a team in Week 7, but now we're going to see Cedar Valley come back out. They'll have 2 timeouts and 2 minutes to work with, and this is an offense that's had some little bit of success moving it through the air, Brian. They could definitely do something here.
Yeah, they've had a lot of success, and again, this Stansbury defense goes both sides of the ball. This is a good opportunity for them to get some movement.
They'll start with the wide receiver screen to the outside, nearly picked off. Instead, it'll be a gain of about 3, but more importantly, the clock's going to continue to run.
Yeah, 2 minutes left here. You see that clock wind. Well,
and we'll actually stop it.
It looks like we got an injury.
Yeah, we're going to stop it for an injury, so we'll step away as well while they tend to the injured Stallion on KSL Sports Rewind.
Man on the field.
College wasn't built for me.
I didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Or if my kid had a fever.
Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
I want to take tests when I'm ready.
I want to take courses on my time.
And speed up when I know my stuff.
I want a university that cares about me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of you.
Injured Stallion has been tended to as he walks off the field. That is Jackson Corbett, excuse me. So with 2:02 remaining, clock stop because of the injury. Thompson with time, gonna air it out to the sideline. Was that caught? I believe it was. What a reception.
Cooper Thompson complete. Number 1. Keiki Baker.
Looks like it was actually incomplete, JT, but there was no signal from the official. They just threw the ball back to the original line of scrimmage there, so appreciate it.
We're already far enough away from them. They can help us up a little bit.
Us and the officials, JT.
I like our odds, Brian. I like our odds. As long as I got you, I feel like we'll be good.
We'll just keep throwing the gummy bears down there to try and get them on our side.
So Baker could not haul that ball in. It's 3 minutes, and now this is the danger of your Cedar Valley, is you don't want to give the Stallions the ball back with 1:46 remaining. Officials holding up play at the moment. Looked like an official had to come back onto the field. Not sure why he had to leave. Just a quick water break. Important to stay hydrated. So 1:50 left. Stallions bring pressure. Thompson drops back, well protected. Got a man wide open, and he overshoots him.
Like you said, JT, wide open there, and you can see Thompson still down on one knee. Just really wishes he could have that one back. It was a great play call there by Cedar Valley, just not able to connect.
Noah Burnham is the man who created the separation but just overshooting his intended target was Thompson. So now the Stallions going to get it with about a minute and 30, some change over that left in this first half, and this is an offense that can score in bunches. Best kick of the day is sent away and hauled in by Wilson. So Harris and the offense set to come back out.
Christian Johnson, fair catch by number 8, Brock Wilson. Stallions take over 1st and 10.
You got to imagine the Stallions are going to want to continue to be aggressive here, Brian.
Yeah, definitely, JT. And I think the interesting part about it is it doesn't really, outside of those first 2 mistakes, it doesn't feel like this game's really gotten outside of Cedar Valley's range. However, if Stansbury can get a touchdown here, that would definitely put things in a very precarious territory.
Student section is hyped here for the Stallions as Harris drops back. He's going to have all day to throw. He's going to look deep to Wilson. Just overshoots him.
You see Wilson now running the double coverage there, using his speed. Harris doing a nice job of waiting right until he broke to try and throw the ball, just not able to make the connection. And that, JT really would have blown this one open.
Yeah, Brock Wilson nearly would have hauled in touchdown well over 60 yards. So the minute 32 left. Harris had all day to throw. The offensive line once again holding strong. They'll go for the quick route on the outside to Hamilton, and he steps out of bounds.
A nice little 10-yard gain there based on the spot. I thought it was maybe a couple more yards, but again, this high-powered, high-moving, fast-moving Stallions offense will get up and get ready to go.
So it's always hard as you see the corners playing off a little bit. You don't want to get burnt deep, but with a minute 28 and clock stopping on first downs, that's a lot of time to move the ball, Brian.
Yeah, got to try and put some pressure on the quarterback here.
Harris once again has a nice pocket. He'll escape out of it, rolling to the right, airing it out to the sideline. It's called in, and a great job getting out of bounds as well by Trent Jones.
Yeah, Harris does a nice job of buying himself some time there, able to get completions to Jones, and that's a big pickup here with not a lot of time off the clock.
Is that a nominee for the pancake platoon as well? I saw by our right tackle. You thought a little holding maybe?
It was awfully lovey-dovey there. So if it's a pancake, they're sharing it.
Harris will once again overthrow Wilson. Tell he was a little frustrated talking to the sideline, thought it was going to be a little bit of a different route. Instead, it will be 2nd and 10 from the 41 with, a minute and 14, which feels like forever for this offense, Brian.
That it does, JT.
Harris looks to be switching the play up. Lets Halu know as well. Remember, no timeouts for this offense. Quick pitch and catch to the outside, hauled in by Wilson for another first down.
Run out of bounds by number 8, Jaden Jordan.
Yeah, great job by Wilson and Harris to connect on that one. Harris had Brian Vogel in his face from Cedar Valley. Just a great job standing in the pocket, making that completion.
So a minute and 9 seconds remaining now. That play took 5 seconds as Wilson was able to create the separation and haul it in on the out route. Harris, Cedar Valley going to bring some pressure. Harris airs it out to Wilson. They finally connect on the deep ball, and it works. Another touchdown for the Stallions.
Number 8, Brock Wilson, touchdown Stallions.
You just love the patience there by Ezra Harris as he waits for his wide receiver to make the break and then throws it right on a dime. Stansbury takes the 26-0 lead pending PAT. And JT, like we talked about, this one's starting to feel like it's getting away from Cedar Valley a bit.
The drive started with multiple deep misses to Isaac Wilson. That time hauls it in for the touchdown, and that'll make it as well. 27-0 with the extra point. So a minute and 3 seconds remaining. The Aviators are going to have one more shot to score in our first quarter when we return on KSL Sports Rewind.
Aviators no score. Stallions 27.
Salt Lake Running Company is inspiring our community to move with purpose, embrace adventure, and consciously connect to their bodies. Exercise is essential, now more than ever. Take control of the chaos and make time for you. From the gym to the trail, SLRC can help you find the focus to define your finish line. Visit one of our 5 locations along the Wasatch Front or shop online at slrc.com.
Stallions making their way back out, and Brian, the Aviators still have a minute and 3, and they didn't have to use either of those timeouts, and we just saw how quick the Stallions made work, and we know that some of the guys the Stallions have as well, but this is still an Aviators offense that proved moving it through the air. This half's not over.
Minute 3 left here. You just settle down, try and get something good on the board before you go in for halftime if you're Cedar Valley.
This one's going to take a bounce. Jenkins lets it go out for the touchback.
Aviators football, 1st and 10 on the 20.
Got to imagine Thompson is excited to get back out here. Missed on what would have been a crucial touchdown. Right now trying to cut this back to just a 20-point deficit if they're able to find the end zone in a minute and 3, which is possible.
Yeah, you know, and we've seen Thompson already bounce back from a lot of plays previously where he's not come through, and you have to believe that he's hungry to get back out there, like you said, JT, and make a play.
It is homecoming here at Stansbury High School, so we will have a little bit of a lengthier halftime potentially. It's the homecoming court and the band will perform. Thompson looks to the outside, caught by Fisher and dragged down. Well played by the man who leads this Stallions team in tackles, Easton Baker.
On the stop, number 8, Brock Wilson.
Or excuse me, Brock Wilson actually on the stop. Easy pitch and catch to the outside as well, as this one's hauled in by Ethan Johnson. But nice momentum here a little bit, Brian.
Yeah, easy passes, right? And you're taking not too much time off the clock, but you've got to start getting some bigger chunks here in a minute if you're Cedar Valley. You're way outside of field goal range, and really what you'd like to do is try and bust a big play here in the next 15, 30 seconds and try to get yourself into the end zone.
See if they can go turbo mode with 43 seconds remaining. Thompson rolling to the right, airs it out. Nice delivery, but tackled inbounds and short of those sticks was Baker.
Pass from Cooper Thompson complete.
Or at least I thought it was Brian. Did he not haul that in apparently?
Looks like we might have a signal here from the official.
The ball is spotted back where it was originally. I thought for sure it looked like Baker hauled it in.
Not exactly sure what happened on that one, but we've got a relocation of the ball to the opposite hash.
Yeah, good point as well. So who knows what happened there. 36 seconds remaining. It fooled everyone on this side of the stadium. All thought it was hauled in. Thompson looking deep, has time, has a man open, and just a little too tall.
Depending on the play, number 10, Mateaki Haley.
We've seen, yeah.
Thompson's just really trying to get the ball out there to his wide receiver. And you can see the urgency with which he's trying to throw the football, just overthrowing his receivers a little bit. Again, just calm down, go through your progressions, stick to your mechanics, deliver that ball.
Interesting to see, depending on the results of this third down as well, what the Stallions would decide to do, depending on a strong punt return. You'll see the Aviators going to go to the ground, and that's going to be a first down. With still 20 seconds left, I wonder if we're going to see a timeout. We will from the Aviators. Look content just rushing it out. They didn't get the first, but instead, it's a first down for Jenkins.
Nice call there by Cedar Valley on the inside handoff. Not necessarily a draw play, but just catches Stansbury off guard. Now they're across the 50-yard line with an opportunity to get some points.
They'll have an opportunity to get some points, and we'll see if they're able to capitalize it when we come back on KSL Sports Rewind.
On a funky key ring. Come see us.
Aviators offense back on the field. They have 49 yards to go until they reach the end zone, and we'll see if they can do it in 25 seconds. Handoff was bobbled, but then devoured by the Stallions front seven, just like Brian has devoured the Gummy Bears up here in the first half so far.
Also in on the stop.
That's right, JT.
Yeah, 19 seconds remaining here. Aviators gonna call that second timeout as well, just because it was a short run. You know, kind of interesting to call a timeout if you're gonna go for a run there, and you have 49 yards, Brian, to get there.
Well, yeah, and I think what you're trying to do is you're trying to get another explosive play out of that play call because you got it previously. You're trying to catch that Stansbury defense off guard, right? You're on the 49-yard line. They have to be thinking pass, have to be expecting pass. You still got 2 timeouts in your pocket. At best, you come out of it with, at worst, you come out of it with a field goal if it converts. At best, maybe you get into a position where you can throw one in the end zone for a touchdown.
The Stallions doing a great job making Cedar Valley trip over themselves offensively, just like the Gummy Bears were causing you to trip up a second ago, Brian.
Been a long day. Yeah. You gotta stay fueled, man.
Stansbury student section is fired up. They lead 27-0. There's 19 seconds left. 2nd and 7 from the 46. Thompson will drop back. Gonna have pressure in his face. He's gonna escape, but he cannot. He'll get dropped. Big time sack for Stansbury.
Number 54, Michael Gibajon.
Yeah, then that was Gibajon again, whose name we're starting to pronounce a little bit better because he's making so many plays, JT. Pushes Cedar Valley back, and it looks like this is time's going to expire, and we're going to go to that. What?
Yeah, whistles are coming.
A little confused there.
Yes, we've been confused multiple times now. It's been an interesting first half. It looks like there was another timeout, but after they got, okay, I believe, if we're correct, I thought the Aviators only had 2 timeouts left, unless there was a clock issue, because what happened was they got that first rushing first down, burned a timeout. They ran it again when they came in, then burned another timeout. That's the 2 timeouts they had on the clock. The scoreboard is right now showing 5 timeouts are up there, so they're still trying to get that figured out. But either way, on 3rd and 11, after the great sack by Givion, as you mentioned as well, we're going to see Thompson in the offense come out, I guess, one more time, Brian.
Give it a go.
We'll see if they do go. Got some time to air it out deep. Pressure comes in his way a little bit. See if he's just going to launch it, try to get it, but no one home.
Great defense. Pass goes incomplete into the first half.
So the Stallions defense holds up strong. Stallions offense, look, 2 turnovers on the first 2 drives of the game for the Stallions defense. Stallions offense picks up it right where they left off, basically scoring on back-to-back ones. A little bit of a lull after that, but then from there, just all Stansbury to close this half out, Brian. It's led to a 27-0 ball game.
Yeah, and really the story of this entire game so far, this first half, has been Stansbury capitalizing on the mistakes of Cedar Valley, able to take advantage on the first 2 turnovers, able to convert those into touchdowns. And again, Cedar Valley had chances, not able to convert, and so we sit here 27-0 in favor of Stansbury as we go into halftime.
Cedar Valley will come out with the second half, and they will have to play defense first. Stansbury will start on offense, so we'll see how it all plays out in surprisingly only 15 minutes. Originally thought we were going to have a little bit of a longer halftime for you, but it will just be 15 minutes of time, and we will have the second half for you when we return on KSL Sports Rewind.
Salt Lake Running Company is inspiring our community to move with purpose, embrace adventure, and consciously connect to their bodies. Exercise is essential, now more than ever. Take control of the chaos and make time for you. From the gym to the trail, SLRC can help you find the focus to define your finish line. Visit one of our 5 locations along the Wasatch Front or shop online at slrc.com.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees.
We're live, aren't we? Welcome back inside to Stansbury High School, where the Stallions lead 20-0 over the Cedar Valley Aviators. Hello, everyone. JT Wisterstill and Brian Brown with you on the call. And Brian, the Stallions going to get the ball once again. A great opportunity for them to extend this lead.
Yeah, there's no easy moments here for Cedar Valley into the second half, as they're going to have to come out and try and stop this Stansbury offense. We'll see how that goes, JT. It was not exactly a successful proposition in the first half.
It's a difficult thing for everyone to do, as this is a team that scored over 40 in all but one game on the season. They'll start with a strong return here. Hamilton charging forward for the tough yards, and it was one where we saw Halu find the end zone, Harris find the end zone, Hamilton find the end zone, and Wilson, literally the four star players of this offense, all got it done. And now we'll see if they can do it in the second half as they make their way back out there. As you mentioned, they got off to a quick start in that first half offensively because of those turnovers. We'll see if they can do so once again here. Hamilton, quick throw to the outside, set up the screen. And flag's going to come in.
Complete to number 11, Gage Lambert. Flag on the field.
Yeah, flag on that one is you see Stansbury trying to go with a quick screen out to the boundary there. Looks like we're either going to have a hold. It does confirm that that is a hold there. So that's going to back this offense up another 10 yards. Like we said in the first half, JT, they might actually like that.
Yeah, they've had a lot of, they can make it up in a second, but lots of sloppy play by the Stallions as well. There's been a number of penalties, especially holding.
Yeah, great job by the Cedar Valley defender to come over the top from the backside and make the tackle there.
Faked it to Hamilton. Harris going to keep it. Harris dragging a defensive lineman a few extra yards and gets back the penalty yardage.
Yeah, and you see why Stansbury is so confident in this offense. Running the motion out there, distracting the defensive backs and the linebackers from maintaining gap integrity, able to get almost a 10-yard pickup on the run play.
Look to the wide receiver screen once again on the outside, and it's hauled in.
Pass complete for
the nice game.
Number 11, Gage Lambert.
Gage Lambert on the reception.
On the stop,
brings it for a gain of about 10, so it'll be 3rd and 2 for this offense. They haven't faced third down a lot tonight, and it's been pretty successful when they have.
Yeah, and you're seeing Cedar Valley walking back to the line of scrimmage. They've got to pick up the urgency if they're going to get anything done here.
That was just going to be an easy completion to Lambert, but just a miscommunication.
Looks like he might even slipped a little bit on that one, JT. As it is starting to get colder, you and I up here above, out with the people in the environment.
We got jackets on.
Yeah. But Stansbury's just going to go for it. I mean, I think we can just assume that any third, fourth, and short, they're going to go.
And you're going to see the Aviators play a little tighter on their coverage as well. So you'll see Harris pull back, and they're just going to run the punt. It looks like they're going to run the punting unit out. So just a massive change. A lot of bodies coming on the field, excuse me. Just tried to get him to jump off sides, and they weren't able to do so. Seems to be lots of confusion for the Aviators as well.
Yeah, a real tough situation there when you're trying to get teams in and out off of the field. Even more difficult when you have play clock situations, and Stansbury's just going to go ahead and take the penalty here on the delay of game.
Yeah, going to be a delay of game as well. And just, you had the punt team. You're supposed to have the punt team ready to go, but it didn't really look like they were ready to go.
And that's a tough situation. Again, I understand what you're trying to do if you're Stansbury. If it's something that you want to do that in the first half, call the timeout, get your team off the field, right? Coming out first thing in the second half, it's a really risky proposition.
Punt is blocked. Getting a hand on that one is big number 45. That's Brian Vogel. So it's still going to end up on the opposite side. Still go almost 30 yards, but good job by Vogel, the lone rusher there, to get the block.
Yeah, and Vogel's done a really good job of getting through on that Stansbury offensive line, able to get a big mid on that one and deflect the punt, let's say. I mean, it was a clear block, but still getting, like you said, good yardage off the bounce and everything like that. Part of that Stansbury punter having so much verticality on his punts.
So 10:46 to go in our third quarter. Start this drive from the 40. Aviators turn to the ground, and very similar to the start of that first half, Stallions all over it.
Yeah, well, I was pointing out to you that they had Easton Baker out there on the wide receiver trying to send him on the blitz, and it didn't matter at that point because that Stansbury defensive front so stout against the run game in the interior. I think if you're Cedar Valley, you probably want to try maybe some fly sweep action, get outside a little bit more, try and stretch that defense, and definitely run away from Easton Baker.
Yes. See if they're able to do so here. Loss of 1 yard on the play. Thompson, pressure in his face. He gets buried. Big time sack for the Stallions as Brock Wilson gets home.
Yeah, we talked about it.
My bad. Number 9, Easton Baker.
I was going to say, I didn't want to talk over top of the announcer in the stadium, but I know what Easton Baker looks like, and I know an Easton Baker sack when I see it. You can see him just explodes off the edge there. Thompson didn't really even have a chance to get set up and try and deliver a football before he was back there. That's why he's such a coveted recruit. That's why he's such a talented high school football player, and why he is such an integral part of this defense.
3rd and 20 for the Aviators. Set it up to the outside. That one's hauled in by Johnson. Johnson trying to get down the sideline and pushed out of bounds. Wait, he stayed in. Johnson's keep going. But there's a flag, and there were some extracurricular activities on that one as well. So this is more than likely going to come back. Looks like there's going to be a holding. It was a great run by Johnson.
Yeah, great play call there by Cedar Valley. Offensive coordinator Steve Vincent, seeing how much of an impact Easton Baker's had on it, goes right to the area that he vacates. Unfortunately, too much extracurricular stuff. Looks like maybe it's going to be a hold or a block in the back here.
Yeah, unfortunate play for the Aviators as that was 3rd and forever, and they were stable to make it up, but because of the penalty, we'll have to back it up now. Just a tough break for this offense that has had opportunities to get in this game. Well, missed on a couple of deep passes, and you see it right there. Once again, just a holding penalty stops all that momentum.
And the interesting part about that, JT, they actually gained yards with the penalty because the hold was so far upfield after the completion. So they'll get another shot at it on 3rd down here, but you burned your great play call on that one, trying to get going. So you've really got to dig deep into the bag of the tricks here to try and get a conversion, as it's 3rd and 17, excuse me.
A 70-yard touchdown negated. It was a gain of 3 instead. Thompson, airing it out, hauled in, charging, fighting for the first down. He's got it. What an effort by KJ Fisher, and he gets a few more as well.
Cooper Thompson complete.
We talk about the second effort of Mateaki Helu. Cedar Valley doing their own impression of getting the 2nd and 3rd effort to convert the first down, and you can see the sideline start to light up as they're able to do that. Great protection as Thompson had all day to throw, able to find his receiver, and that's a massive, massive completion and conversion for Cedar Valley here.
A large gain on that play. They'll go from the 30 to the 41. So with 9 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter, Cedar Valley showing some life on offense. Thompson on the play action, gets it out, and it's caught. It's another tough catch hauled in. We've seen a couple of these Aviators receivers now making plays. That time it's Noah Burnham.
Number 11, Noah Burnham.
Yeah, you see Thompson trying to throw off his back foot and get the ball over there because he is feeling that pressure, settling in a little bit more, able to make those completions. And Cedar Valley starting to pick up the pace a little bit now.
1st and 10 from the 30. So 2 plays. They're on the opposite 30 now after facing 3rd and 20. Give it to Jenkins up the middle. And just coming right through are the Stallions. That time doing a great job on the stop was Dylan Chapman.
A nice job by Chapman to stop the ball carrier there. Again, running into the teeth of that Stansbury defense. Just a risky proposition and trying to keep it honest, right? You're trying to keep working at it because eventually if you can get this one a little closer in the 3rd, 4th quarter, you may break one of those.
Loss of a yard on the play, so 8:05 remaining. For Cooper Thompson. Airs it out, and it's hauled in. Another beautiful delivery by Thompson, who has to backpedal to evade the pressure and gets it to Kakai Baker.
It's a great throw, great completion. You're seeing that he's starting to find his rhythm, feel a lot more confident. It's a really tough proposition when Easton Baker's bearing down on you. And even Baker was impressed, goes up afterwards, gives him a little dab, says, hey, nice throw, good job. This is the kind of game that we expected, right? A tight, contested, hard-fought affair.
Coming to life in the third quarter. We'll see if it's enough as this one continues to wear on. Pitches to the outside, and that's going to be dropped. Or actually, he gets out of it. What an effort. Fighting through the tackle by Lomu.
Handoff to number 44, Joe Lomu. Whole bunch of Stallions on the stop.
So Lomu fights through, and look, it looked like it was going to for sure be a tackle for loss. That was Mason Maxwell who did a great job for the Stallions come up, but Lomu just fought through it and was able to get to only right back to the line.
And some of that's on Mason, right? You've seen Lomu run all game. He's a tough runner. You came up hard. Great job. Lots of intensity. Now finish the tackle, right? Finish through the offensive player. Finish that technique.
iPhone up in the booth, a lost iPhone.
And if you lost an iPhone, they're announcing that here at the stadium, so come out here and get it if you need to at Stansbury. But again, Cedar Valley going with a hurry up here after getting a few extra yards there. Well, actually, it looks like they lost a yard, but a lot less than they should have lost.
Set up the screen to the opposite side, got some blocking, but it can't hold up. Great job by the Stallions to get a stop.
Number 5, Ethan Johnson.
Johnson had it, but all over it for the Stallions was, of course, Easton Baker.
Yeah. And we couldn't exactly get a number, but I had a hunch just on the rate that he closed at, the way that he dragged down the ball carrier. Cedar Valley's got some really tough runners. We've seen some really good things from this offense, but you can see why Baker is just kind of like, he's really showing out in the second half after he was a little quiet. Ethan Johnson, again, very tough runner for Cedar Valley. Possibly could have broken that one. Great job by Baker.
3rd and 8 for the Aviators. Cooper Thompson looks deep, flushed out of the pocket, to the right, looking, buying time, throwing, no one home.
Yeah, and you see me in the booth signaling to him, you got to get upfield, got to get upfield.
It's a late flag.
Very late flag, and I don't know if this is going to be sideline warning, okay, against Stansbury. So for those who are not conditioned to this rule, if you're a coach on the sideline, you have to allow the officials to be able to move up and down on the sideline. If they're not able to do that, that's usually what causes the flag.
Can't pull Mike Tomlin.
Exactly, yeah. None of that here. And then Tomlin can get away with a lot more than any of these high school coaches, I tell you what. That's why they had to put me in the booth when I coached, JT.
It's a devastating one as well. It has absolutely nothing to do with the play, and it's a first down.
Yeah, well, it's a pivotal rule because you have to allow the officials to do their job. And when you get in the way like that,
you get a warning. You do.
Yeah. So I wonder if maybe there was something else that happened on that one too.
Either way, a nice break for the Aviators, and they've been on the opposite side of a lot of those breaks tonight as well, so good to see them get that opportunity. The Stallions were very productive going into this end zone in the first quarter. Now we'll see if the Aviators can punch it in as they are now on the 9-yard line with a first down.
And you see Clayson Jenkins has his fullback in the game now. Cedar Valley trying to go with a power look here. We'll see if they roll with a run game on it.
They'll do it from the eye. That defensive line is loaded, though. Give it to the fullback. Charges ahead and charges in. That's a touchdown for KJ Fisher.
KJ Fisher, touchdown, Aviators.
Really nice look, really nice play call, and an even better run from KJ Fisher. The versatile tight end. We saw him catching 15 and 20-yard slam patterns. Takes that one in for the touchdown. And Cedar Valley with the big response here, JT, challenging Stansbury.
KJ Fisher fights hard, gets the yards. Fantastic job by the offensive line, as you highlighted, Brian, as well. Beautiful hole created there. So 6:08 remaining in the third quarter. They'll try the PAT, and it's good. Aviators showing some life, and a lot of time left in the third quarter. Don't go anywhere. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind.
I wouldn't go anywhere even if I could, JT.
College wasn't built for me.
I didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Or if my kid had a fever.
Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
I want to take tests when I'm ready.
I want to take courses on my time.
And speed up when I know my stuff.
I want a university that cares about me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of you.
Back here at the Stallions Stadium, where Aviators showing a life. It's a 20-point deficit, but defense already held strong once. See if it continues here. Seeing a kickoff for one of the few times today we've seen the Stallions do it. It's actually the second time, just the second half being the only other one, Brian.
Yeah, again, haven't had a lot of opportunities for Cedar Valley to showcase that kick, but out through the back of the end zone. And now, again, early on, Stansbury was able to capitalize on great field position and score. The last couple drives, they've been backed up a little bit, and we talked about it. A lot of their guys going both ways. They haven't been in a lot of close games because they've literally outran everybody they played. So things getting a little bit tighter here. We'll see how this offense responds.
Well, this is a team as well that utilizes tempo, so it doesn't make it any easier on those guys who go both ways as well. This drive's going to start from the 20 after that touchback, so 27-7 our game. We'll see what Ezra Harris wants to do with it. Look to the wide receiver screen on the outside. Gets it over to his man on the edge in Elijah Holman, and Holman finally dragged down.
Well, you think you've got everybody on this team covered, and then Holman comes out, makes a great move on the defender, able to break outside, and then skips forward, dragging a defender for a few extra yards, and you love that extra effort to fight for the Yak.
We've seen the corners playing off a lot today. This time Harris going to keep it. Huge gain on the draw. He'll charge forward for another first down. And he was down.
Up the middle for Stallion, first down.
You've seen the motion play trying to draw again those linebackers to the outside, and Harris just an incredible athlete able to get the big gain up the middle, and now again Stansbury goes tempo.
Use it right away, gives it to Halu. Halu cuts one to the outside, makes another move, and gets a gain of 8 on the carry.
It feels like it's been forever since we've called Halu's name, but that's the beauty of this Stansbury offense. There's so many weapons out there, and again that tempo allows them to utilize a lot of different players.
Hey, Dylan Chapman, the right tackle as well, doing work. That's a pancake platoon if I've ever seen one there, Brian. Fake it to Halu once again. Harris charging forward, following Chapman as his lead blocker. Still up, trying to use the stiff arm to get out of bounds, and he will. Big gain on second and short.
Harris just ran into too many of his own players on that one. If he was able to wiggle a little bit on the outside, probably could have gone for 6 on that one. Doesn't really matter as Stansbury's up and ready to go. These guys are hungry to get in the end zone, JT.
That's the hard part about following your blockers, is a lot of times you're going to be faster than them. And the Aviators finally respond, dragging down Halu for a minimal gain.
Well, you can see that it's almost a little bit of a breather for Stansbury as well, as a few of their players, hands on the hips. Again, tempo, tempo, tempo. Especially when you're trying to get that extra effort, it can take the wind out of you as well.
They're going to snap this not even 10 seconds after he was down. Pitch it outside to Halu. Halu makes the grab and isn't quite able to get out of the tackles. And a fantastic flag throw by our official, Brian, right there. That traveled 10 yards.
Yeah, that's a 10 out of 10 on the flag throw there. Also, great job of him seeing that there was a hold out there on the edge. Halu able to cut inside of the hold there and get some positive yards, so it's not going to be a full 10-yard penalty from the original spot, but still backs this Stansbury offense up a little bit.
Our white hat showing off that he can throw a football over the mountains.
Well, at least a flag anyways, right? might as well throw that football to the moon.
Yeah. Winding clock once again, another nice luxury for this team as they'll air it out. Caught by Hamilton over the middle as he swung down. Harris takes a lick, but gets up.
From Ezra Harris, complete to number 20, Dylan Hamilton. On the stop, number 30, Nate Banley.
Third and average here for Stansbury. That's not even a question for them. They're going to go for it on 4th down, though, if they don't convert here.
3rd and Brown Bear, and what do? They get him to jump.
Yeah. Well, that time the ref didn't have to throw the flag over the mountains, and they probably would have taken state if he had. But Cedar Valley, undisciplined, again, we talk about it, the tempo disrupts you mentally as much as it does physically, right? And so you're jumpy, trying to get off the ball, trying to stay with the tempo, gives Stansbury an easy 5 yards there.
Just over 4 minutes, 3rd and short. Give it to Halu. Halu going to bounce it to the outside, trips, but he still made up the yardage.
Yeah, again, you hear me groaning in the background there because it was the turf monster that got him there. Just a little bit too much wiggle trying to get past some of those defenders. But, again, you can see why Halu is such a coveted player by college programs. A lot of juice, a lot of wiggle, a lot of explosiveness in his athleticism.
Harris trying to show off his. He's going to the outside, charging forward. Gets a near first down, or check that actually. Gain of only about 5. Look to be a little more on the sideline over here.
Number 88, James Young.
Yeah, and you're seeing that the yardage is starting to slow down a little bit for Stansbury as Cedar Valley settles in here. difficult task for this defense as they're still out on the field multiple plays, but Stansbury, you have to think, is going to try and put this one in the next play or two.
Stallions once again waste no time. They'll give it to Halu, and I have a feeling they're going to get right back on the ball, Brian.
Yeah, tempo is their thing, right? And then they go no huddle no matter what, but it's kind of the rate of the no huddle that they're looking for. So you see Halu go out there in the slot to give him a little bit of a different look.
Stansbury's offense, fast and furious, would make Dominic Toretto proud. 2:57 remaining, motion it across. They'll give it, they actually will give it on the sweep this time. Give it to Wilson. Wilson fighting forward, and he's dragged down. A phenomenal tackle on the outside by the Aviators.
Great job by Cedar Valley to string that one out, and you see multiple defenders there trying to make the tackle. However, Stansbury able to get the first down. Still in. Looks like we are within the 10-yard range.
First and 9.
So they are first and goal, yeah.
Nate Banney doing a good job coming in on the stop to prevent the touchdown there. See, rare time Harris ran over to the sideline on that one. So interesting to see that there. And this has been a great job for Stansbury. They've already killed 4 minutes of clock. We'll see if they continue to do so here with Harris once again alone in the backfield. Harris going to keep it. Fake the run. Now he's going to step up, bouncing it to the outside. A lot of Aviators in his face. Flips it up. It was nearly picked off.
Yeah, had a defender on his back as well. Great job by the Cedar Valley defensive line to try and get some pressure there. And you love the effort from Harris to try and make a play, right? But just too much going on in front of him. Doesn't give up any yards, so credit to him in that one. But lucky that ball falls incomplete.
So 2nd and 9, gain of nothing on the play after the incompletion, and that was a risky incompletion as well, trying to throw that one away. Halu now finds his place in the backfield.
Slowing the tempo down a little bit here for Stansbury as well.
Not as much field to work with. Give it to Halu. Halu charging forward. Gets a nice gain of about 5. It's going to be 3rd, and we'll call it 3rd and 4 at the moment.
Yeah, it looks about 4 or 5 yards to go for a touchdown. And again, that's the benefit of having a player like Matayaki Halu, who has all that ability and all that strength. It's a simple inside handoff. He gets 5 yards.
Under 2 minutes now. Harris tried to get him on the hard count. Didn't work. Halu making some calls.
See Harris signaling to the coaching staff what he wanted to do there.
Fakes it to the outside, keeps it, he's running, breaks not 1 but 2 tackles, it gets in the end zone. Touchdown by Ezra Harris.
JT just flabbergasted by that one, as I noticed. Harris is signaling, give me the ball, give me the ball. Takes it on his own, thought he was tackled once, thought he was tackled twice, and he bursts across the goal line there for 6. Great effort there by Ezra Harris.
His 2nd rushing touchdown of the game. He scored the 2nd touchdown of the game for the Stallions after taking that one on the first carry after the interception. Their 2nd turnover of the game, the Stallions forced. Took it over to the right on the run as well and does another one there. And Stallions fired up, and they're going to keep the offense on the field.
Yeah, well, you know, the kicking game has been inconsistent. You got an opportunity to go for 2 here and get back to 35-7. Definitely a great observation by this coaching staff to try and get that score back, in essence.
Wasting no time. Harris rolling out, pressure in his face, just going to try to throw it away, but he was buried. You see a flag as well. Curious, I think it is going to be intentional grounding, yeah.
Yeah, not a receiver in the area there, and you know, the rule is a little bit different in high school in terms of intentional grounding, but you see both players a little slow to get up with Harris, and I think it was KJ Fisher out there actually who made the tackle.
Yeah, hopefully Fisher's all right, been one of the best players on offense today.
Scored the only touchdown today for Cedar Valley as well.
Yes, he did, Brian. 33-7 as we go into less than 2 minutes remaining in our 3rd quarter.
College wasn't built for me.
It didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Test day's test day. Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
Tests on your time. Courses on your time. Graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of VU.
So the Stallions with a response, they find the end zone. It's 33-7 here at Stallion Stadium. After that score, an impressive one by Ezra Harris. And the ball, going to readjust it on the kick. That penalty for the intentional grounding applied on the kickoff here. That's why you see him taking it from the 25.
Lost it down, right? Good point there, JT.
So 1:23 left in the third quarter. Still a lot of time for the Aviators, but they got to get to work, especially getting some stops. Starts with some offense here, though. Going to take a bounce around too far. Jenkins gets it, trying to get the corner to the outside, and he swung down. Phenomenal tackle on the edge there. Doing a great job for Stansbury was Brock Shepard.
A great job by Shepard to maintain Jenkins, who has been pretty talented back up until this point. And I think Stansbury can really hang their hat on the fact that they have limited him pretty severely today compared to what he's normally done in previous games.
See the offense coming out now with Jenkins, as you mentioned, remaining in the backfield. This is a Cooper Thompson-led offense that found some momentum. Thompson going to give it to Jenkins. Jenkins charging forward and just stood up. A great job basically catching him on that one, as there was no malicious intent on the tackle there, but a phenomenal job by Toby Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson hog-tying Jenkins there. The end just kind of throws him to the side. Like you said, no malicious intent. He's got his hands up in the air saying, hey, I'm just...
Which a lot of times means you are guilty.
Yeah.
But that time Toby was innocent. Yeah. Toby also only a sophomore as well. It's a fantastic play. Mm-hmm. Clock continues to tick, just at 35 seconds now remaining in this third quarter. Thompson with time. Pressure breaking in, gets it to the outside, and it's caught. Nice throw and catch on the edge. Hauling that one was Noah Burnham.
Yeah, like you said, a very nice throw. That's a tough completion to make all the way across the field like that, even though it is a shorter route. The best news about that, JT, it brings up 3rd and short for Cedar Valley, and you have to think, if you're Stansbury here, maybe this isn't a situation where you try to get Easton Baker on a blitz to be disruptive. We've seen him drop into pass coverage the last few plays.
Worked effective earlier. We'll see what they decide to roll with here. And do you think there's any world this is 4-down territory, Brian, just with the score the way it is?
You know, you just, with the rate that Stansbury turns the ball over, you think maybe not. But really, you've got to get on the board if you're Cedar Valley. So I think it is, JT.
See if they can do it in the eye. Pressure breaks through. Stallions there, got it. What a stop. It's a loss of about 3 or 4 on the play.
Yeah. And it just
44, Joe Lomu.
A little extracurriculars after the play there, and you've got a penalty flag. And it looks like the officials are trying to keep guys in line here as tempers are boiling over a little bit. But trying to run the motion there, distract the defense. Stansbury, again, very well coached team, doesn't fall for the distraction right there, just overwhelms Cedar Valley's front, stops it for a loss. We'll see what the penalty does, though.
Toby Johnson was once again in on that tackle as, we do see a flag come in, Brian.
Yeah. Looks like we have 2 unsportsmanlike conducts there against Stansbury. And again, one of those situations.
Probably after the play, too.
Yeah, it is, 100%. And it's just, you've got to be smart. And I get, you're out there, you're playing at high emotions, but that just gave Cedar Valley a first down. Now they're at the 45-yard line, about to cross the 50. And even though there's only, they're not even going to get a playoff here before the end of the third quarter, you can't allow them to score and try and get back into this thing yet.
So the clock will run out here. Michael Giovanni, one of the players in on that stop. It was a fantastic play, but what ensued after it was not. That's going to bring us to an end in the third quarter. A fun third quarter. We saw a couple more touchdowns added in this one. So fourth quarter coming up next. Aviators starting to mount a drive. Can they get back into it? You'll have to keep it here to find out on KSL Sports Rewind. Back here inside Stansbury High School, where the Stallions have been stout defensively, but surrendered their first touchdown of the game in their third quarter. Also added one of their own, so still a hefty lead for the Stallions. And we see a little bit of trip on the motion. Just been one of those nights for Cedar Valley. High snap as well, throw off the timing, but it doesn't matter. Still a strong game there, a strong run.
44, Joe Lomu on the carry.
Yeah, Lomo, really strong runner there. Doing a great job of getting into the gap early, and you can kind of see a little bit of sloppiness on the part of Stansbury. Again, you mentioned players slipping a little bit more. The temperature has cooled down. This is a natural grass field, which is something we don't see a lot of when we call games, JT, seeing and having an impact on some of these guys early. I guess not early in the fourth quarter, but not early in the game.
Yes. You know, guys get tired as well. We've talked about Stallions. Got a guy like guys going both ways. We know the Aviators do as well. We'll see what they can do with it here. Give to the outside is to turn back inside, and there's a bunch of Stallions there waiting for him. Vaca in for on the stop.
Number 4, Clayton Jenkins.
It's a really tough ask of Cedar Valley's offensive line here because they are so aggressive up front. And they're finally starting to catch some of those Stansbury defensive linemen as they're making those early moves. But again, just not a lot of movement and not a lot of progression in the run game.
Just over 10 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this one. You see the receivers already set and ready to go for the Aviators offensive line. Getting out there now. 3rd and 4 from the 49. Aviators got to have it. Got to imagine this might be 4-down territory as well, Brian.
Yeah, I agree.
Thompson. He'll got time, looking to the outside, and just falls short. It looked like the ball was intended for Ethan Johnson, but Noah Burnham was close to making a play on it as well.
Yeah, not sure if there was a miscommunication on that or what was going on, but ball falls kind of in between both of those receivers. And not sure what's going on here, but Cedar Valley's huddling up in a very different part of the field than where the ball is located.
Way back.
Yeah.
Yeah, not sure what the issue was there, but hey, it wasn't Stansbury's not going to overhear him. You're sure about that?
Yeah, big play here on 4th down as well for Cedar Valley.
Thompson, pressure up the middle, airs it to the outside, and it's intercepted instead. Stallions got it. Tripped up at the last second, but not before he was able to get a fantastic interception, was Braxton Matthews.
By number 5, Bracken Matthews. Stallions football.
Bracken Matthews has had a great game tonight. So I'm coming off the field a little earlier, nicked up, able to get back into the game, make a big interception there. Thought they had the receiver, Cedar Valley did, just not able to reel in the pass, and on the deflection, Stansbury capitalizes, flips the field, and now that high-powered Stallion offense is looking to put a capitalization on this game. And again, you can see the body language here from Cedar Valley, indicative of what's been done by Stansbury, right? That tempo offense, that kind of consistent, go after attack mentality, even having an effect on the offense here.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 23. They'll give it to Jenkins. Jenkins charges forward, dragged down from behind as the Stallions converge on him, but a nice run on 2nd and long.
Nice little gain there by Jenkins as he's able to go over the right side of the offensive line and find a crease. That's the kind of yardage that you were hoping to get in the first quarter when they were trying to establish the run. Finally starting to see some movement here in the fourth. Problem is that you're fighting against the clock at this point.
Clock does begin to be a factor indeed with 8:25 remaining here. Ball on the 30 now, 3rd and 3 for the Aviators. They'll fake it to Jenkins. Tried to fake the wide receiver screen. It's hauled in. Fantastic job by Tyson. Tegan Hansen hauls it in.
Complete to number 14, Tegan Hansen.
Well, it's a great job by Hansen to pick it up basically off of his hip. And that was an absolute bullet from Thompson as there was a defender draped all over the receiver. But that's a big conversion, a big completion for a 1st down there by Cedar Valley.
How about that play design as well, Brian? Fake the screen to the outside, set up his guy's blocker in Hagan. Instead, he releases. Great plays, lead to big gains. And trying to get another one here is going to be Moalu.
Number 4, Clayton Jenkins. Bunch of Stallions on the
Actually, Jenkins, the ball carrier, so Jenkins short yards, and we are going to see an Aviator down at the moment. But it looks like he was actually just adjusting his socks, so false alarm there.
Yeah, and listen, there's a lot of meat over there on the Stansbury defensive line, so if there's a guy on top of you, we'll give you a few minutes to pull up your socks and catch a breath.
Never fun to be at the bottom of those piles.
No. And, Dylan Chapman up front, the defensive tackle, 6'1", 300. And we talked about our guy, Nisi Vaca, 6 foot.
Yeah, Vaca's over there at D end, by the way. How you want to block him?
Well, if he doesn't have any offers, he should definitely get one from SDSU by the end of this game.
7:47 remaining. Ball on the 45 now as we've crossed midfield. Motion man across. Thompson fakes it, trying to set up to screen again, but no one home.
Again, we mentioned Dylan Chapman. He does a great job getting in the way of the screenplay. You think, all these big guys up front for Stansbury, probably easy if you had to get them out in space, but no, they move extremely well coached, doing what they're told to do, looking for those reads and following through. It's just execution across the board for the Stansbury program that stands out tonight.
So 3rd and 6.
We have another set of lost keys.
And we'll see if the Aviators can keep this drive going. Could be 4-down territory for them as well. Need some explosive plays if they want to make it happen. Pressure comes through up the middle and just couldn't get it away in time. Doing a fantastic job bearing down there was Luke Daines.
Yeah, great job on the pressure there by Luke Daines coming out the middle, and just Thompson not able to step through, not able to finish the job, not able to hit his wide receiver, and now Cedar Valley looks like they're going to punt here on 4th down from the Stansbury 45-yard line.
To take off. We'll see if they can get in the end zone in a moment, but a huge momentum change.
Yeah, just a massive change in momentum here for the Aviators. You can see Stansbury kind of lumbering back to the football out there after a tough drive, tough series, right? Now they're back up against it, having to try and stop this Cedar Valley offense from putting a touchdown on the board. And the big news, JT, that's a huge gain for Cedar Valley in a really short amount of time.
See if they can get those gains here. Thompson fakes it, drops out as a man wide open in the flat, make a defender miss, and get a solid gain on it. Charging ahead that time is Ethan Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson does a nice job making that first defender miss on the little kind of 5-yard out route. Gets a few extra yards, also gets out of bounds, preserves that clock. So now you're second and 4. We'll call it second and brown bear, right? Second and average there, with an opportunity to get at least one more first down conversion before you get to the end zone.
Can do a lot in average position. We'll see if the Aviators can do it here. 7:17 left in the eye. They'll bring the motion across, give it to Fisher. Fisher charging ahead. Wow, a lot of hats on the ball, and they'll push him back. Going to be just short of the first down, but they'll have another down to get it.
KJ Fisher on the carry.
A nice job by Fisher to carry the pile and try to keep churning, get extra yards. You're seeing things are starting to get a little chippier out there. Not quite pushing and shoving after the whistle, but a lot of competitiveness from both sides here.
Weather's been chippy all this second half. Some of the changes coming into this high school season is, go back to those August games where we're sweating just standing here calling games in the booth. I mean, I'm not saying that takes a lot for me, but yeah, nights like this where it's cold will be interesting to see as the season goes on. It's going to see a lot of receivers in gloves, obviously. 6:30 to go, 3rd and 1. I have no idea who had the ball for a moment, but looks to have just barely gotten the first down. A lot of confusion, Brian.
Yeah, exactly. One of those plays where the timing is so important on the fly sweep. Wide receiver gets a little bit too ahead of himself, almost interrupts the handoff to Lomu there, and it's a good stop by Stansbury in terms of not allowing Lomu to score, but the Aviators able to convert the first down. Now they'll have 1st and goal to go here.
Yeah, I mean, Stansbury, they don't want to give up the yardage, right? But at the end of the day, what's most important is to make sure they don't score quickly.
And like you said, get that clock ticking, right?
And after that, we just dipped under the halfway mark of this 4th quarter, 39-7 here. Aviators going to try to find the end zone. Thompson drops back, pressure in his face. He'll just loft it up and just outside. Nearly misses the intended target, as well as may have been a drop. Difficult to tell from this vantage point. It was Baker the intended target.
Yeah, bigger the intended target, and a nice job by Thompson to try and get the ball out there, at least give him a chance to make a reception with a lot of pressure in his face. We talked about Mason Maxwell earlier. Did a good job on the blitz there.
For this Aviators team going forward as well, I mean, it's a group where you've moved the ball a lot, you have a lot of talent on the outside, and look at some of the throws Thompson has made. Been extremely impressive, Brian.
Yeah, he's really impressed after some early struggles and doing a good job of staying in the pocket and staying strong despite that massive rush.
Pitch to the outside, Jenkins trying to get to the edge. He's not going to be able to do it as they come in and drop him. Stansbury with the stop.
Great job by Mason Maxwell again on that one to wrap him up early on. Finished off by Brock Wilson there from Stansbury. And this Stansbury defense just plays with such an edge. It's not just Easton Baker. It's not just Matayeke Helu. It's not just Vaca. It's this entire unit, and you can see why they've been so successful and why people have such a high opinion of Stansbury statewide.
Stallions in a great position to move to 7-0. The one other team undefeated in 5A being the Lehigh Pioneers. Also had one of the other teams undefeated in the state, Skyridge Falcons, taking on Corner Canyon, a fun one tonight. Give you an update on that score when we come back. But this one aired out and picked off, intercepted by Stansbury. Going down the sideline is Ethan Johnson. Johnson trying to beat the quarterback in Thompson and just can't do it. But a huge pick by Johnson.
Bracken Matthews.
Yeah, great job by Bracken Matthews, a name we've called a few times tonight. Second interception of the evening. That one was all Matthews, though, as he steps in front of the ball. He was off to the races, not able to get the pick six as he was dragged down by the Cedar Valley running back, I believe it was, Clayson Jenkins on that one. But Thompson, again, not able to make the completion. One of those throws where you sit there and you just have to think through what you can do better next time as Stansbury takes over. And we'll see if they try to go for another score here. I would expect them to go for the end zone again, JT. This doesn't look like the kind of team that has a very strong ball control offense.
No, they do not. And we'll see what they can do for it here. And once again, as you mentioned, a fantastic interception by Matthews. Charging to the outside, Wilson gets the edge, and a nice run by Wilson for a first down. Stallions continue to gallop and move those chains.
Yeah, and a great handoff.
Number 8, Brock Wilson.
Sorry, great handoff. Yeah, we'll give it credit for the handoff, but a great run by Wilson. You can see his versatility on offense is he takes the handoff and goes for a big gain there. Again, Stansbury now into plus territory, driving in to score here in the north end zone, and actually huddling up, so proving me wrong a little bit.
Yeah,
here.
They're willing to be patient, because like you said, this is an offense capable of making those big plays, but I think they're also okay right now, killing that clock. Just under 4 minutes to go. I think they're content running it out for what's going to be another 30-point win for the Stallions team that's just continued to impress all season long, Brian. What was your biggest takeaway watching the Stallions team go to work tonight?
This is my first chance getting to see him in person. I think it's really Ezra Harris who we see just take the ball and run and slide down there. But he is, with a team that has so many headliners in terms of high-rated, highly ranked recruits in Matayeke Helu and Easton Baker, it's Harris that really is the motor of this offense. And the way he gets them up and going, the way he moves the ball, both with his arms and his legs, both arms, primarily the right one. Too many gummy bears tonight, JT, trying to stay with this one. But he is a phenomenal athlete, and he's a great decision maker. And to be able to run the system the way he does is just super impressive. And you see, I won't ever forget him signaling over to the sideline and say, hey, let me take this when I got it. And he literally fought his way into the end zone on the QB run.
Nearly had Hamilton there. That pass broken up deep. So 2:58 left on 3rd and long. It's going to be 4th and long. We'll see what the Stallions opt to do. A little bit of a quick score update. Two of the best teams in the state, Corner Canyon and Skyridge, taking on one another. 21-17. Corner Canyon has the lead. Skyridge, of course, still without McKay Hillstead. So Trent Call in there doing a good job. Still the fourth quarter to be completed in that one. So a lot of time left, but fun matchup between the two teams at the moment that seem the most likely, I would say, to meet in the state championship game for 6A.
And that would be a big win for Corner Canyon after they had a very, very close loss against Lehigh, probably the best team in 5A.
The other breaking three here is going to be Wilson. Wilson charges ahead. That's another touchdown for the Stallions. Brock Wilson on the score. I have a couple of guys down. Can't tell if they're hurt or just tired. Maybe a little bit of both. But either way, touchdown Wilson on the big run.
It's a credit to the Stallions offense, and I don't want to take anything away from Wilson's run. He was just off like a rocket. You know, truly a full steed running ahead of the pack. There was Wilson, but the offensive line for Stansbury just pancakes all over the place, and we're just going to go ahead and enlist this entire Cedar Valley defensive line. The pancake platoon in force here tonight for Stansbury, and Wilson converts it for 6.
PAT is good. Syrup shots for everyone. 45-7 with 2:49 remaining in action here on KSL Sports Rewind.
Salt Lake Running Company is inspiring our community to move with purpose, embrace adventure, and consciously connect to their bodies. Exercise is essential, now more than ever. Take control of the chaos and make time for you. From the gym to the trail, SLRC can help you find the focus to define your finish line. Visit one of our 5 locations along the Wasatch Front or shop online at slrc.com.
Welcome back inside to Stansbury High School at Stallion Stadium, where Stansbury leads 46-7, 2:49 remaining in action out here in our 4th quarter, and it's been a fun Friday as always. And while we have an opportunity, I want to take a second to thank my mom, Kelly Wistersill. It was her birthday yesterday, so appreciate my mom, Kelly, for all she does supporting me. Appreciate all the moms as well, just across, not exactly Mother's Day, but either way, all the moms support their kids as well. But wanted to give a special shout out to my mom, who I would not be here without.
Yeah, well, we always love Kelly. Mama Kelly does a great job. Got a shout out last night from Dusty and I on the broadcast as well. And as we see Cedar Valley takes the ball up to the 30-yard line, what would Mama Kelly's evaluation of that one be?
Mama Kelly's evaluation of that one would probably be, wants the return team to block a little bit better on that one, but we'll take it for running hard.
A woman after my own heart. She loves the offense.
Yeah.
I love it.
So Stallions defense out there one last time, as this looks like it'll be the final drive of the game, depending on how it plays out. Going to see for a second thought we were going to see a quarterback change, but it was just Thompson delayed getting out there.
2 minutes left here. You want to see him trying to get some momentum going on the handoff there. And maybe it's just that you've ridden with Thompson so long to this point that there's not a whole lot to be gained with a QB change.
Number 66, Toby Johnson.
A couple other scores from across the state. Lone Peak and American Fork currently tied at 14, as well as Bingham on their way to getting a nice win over Mountain Ridge, 24-14. Brighton also setting up for a nice win over the Bengals, as once again this Stallions defense limits it to a minimal gain as Joe Lomu charges ahead.
And it does look like Cedar Valley is just going to try and keep this one on the ground as much as possible. A hard-fought game on behalf of Cedar Valley, but just looks like we do have a player down as well. Just not enough being able to keep with it. And we're going to go ahead and head to break here on KSL Sports Rewind. You are watching Stansbury versus Cedar Valley.
Closing call.
Back here in action at Stansbury High School as Cedar Valley faces third and long. Injured player able to get up off the field on their own power, and you see the handoff there up the middle to Jenkins as he's able to convert the first down with a big gain there for Cedar Valley. And JT, a little bit of a surprise there. We really haven't seen Cedar Valley run the ball with that kind of efficiency yet.
No, they haven't. Maybe they're taking advantage of a tired Stallions defense, and either way, biggest run for Jenkins on the day. And Brian, something I'm curious to ask you about is, do you think the fact that so many of the Stallions do play both ways, is that something that when they get in some of those closer games, do you think that's something that might affect them? Because a lot of these starters don't have to play the full game either.
Yeah, and you're seeing that there are a few backups in here for Stansbury, and you've got to try and get some of these guys some reps, and again, right there, you're seeing it right up the middle, number big 55. Not quite the same presence as Vaca is there when he's out there, and so try and get these guys some reps, try and get them built up, because you are going to need some depth going through the playoffs. This is a very talented Stansbury group, but they do not run very deep.
Gavin Killian charged ahead for that one, another big run, just under 40 seconds remaining. So they give it to Killian once again. Killian going to be swallowed up. We'll see. That might be the final play of the game, but this is a Stallions team that going forward got Mountain View next week, got Payson the week after that, then have Timpanogos. Look, they'll be favored in each of those games. They very well could be undefeated heading into postseason play.
Well, you see that this system really is fit to their personnel as well, JT, and that they need to go fast, and they need to get up early, and they need to continue that onslaught of offense in order to keep deeper teams from coming back against them. And I think this was a real challenge for them tonight against Cedar Valley, in the sense that this was a pretty talented Cedar Valley team that had been playing really well up until this point. And Stansbury able to take advantage of some early miscues and capitalize with another big win.
Bingham wins, and it's homecoming, so fireworks to go around over at the Miners, over at the practice field for the Stallions. Excuse my mess up there. Seen a little too many blue jerseys this year, but either way, fireworks for the Stallions as well. And look, this is an Aviators team we talked about. There's still things to be proud of and like about this one. You made this Stallions offense sweat. It's one of the best ones you're going to face going forward. They still have Uinta, Mountain View, and Hillcrest, but another team that, look, they're 4-3 now, but can still very well keep that winning record intact by the time they reach postseason.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything's still on the table for them as far as a football team. The biggest takeaway from them is just a lot of what ifs. You know, you don't create those early turnovers. How does this game play out? Because they did have some success later in the game moving the ball and being effective in stopping Stansbury, just not able to hang in there for the entirety of the game.
So fireworks underway here. We saw some fireworks in the Stallions offense tonight as they go on to win 46-7. Brian, your final thoughts?
Yeah, well, nothing's going to compete with the show that Stansbury put on tonight. And all of the big stars came out. Some stars that maybe we didn't know about, with Ezra Harris really establishing themselves. And it was just a great night here at homecoming for Stansbury as they walk away with a big win, 46-7. Cedar Valley, again, get on that bus, get home, chance to regroup. You got 3 games left in your schedule. Everything's still within your control. But you have to think that this Stansbury football team is making a huge statement to everyone else about they want to compete in 5A, and they feel like they can.
Balanisi Vaca balled out at left tackle and nose tackle, as well as, you mentioned it, Ezra Harris, Hamilton, Wilson, and of course, Halu as well. A fantastic day for the Stallions, and as the fireworks continue to go off, that will do it for us up here in the booth. Your final from Stansbury: Stallions 46, Aviators 7. For Brian Brown, for Bill Francis. Bill Francis as well, doing a phenomenal job raising the camera, giving you guys the fireworks shot as well to send us out as we literally end with a bang. I'm JT Wistersill. Have a great weekend.